So guys, now that I've scaled my businesses way past the 10K per month mark in US dollars in profit as well, that is, by the way, I'm actually going to be showing you a couple of productivity hacks that you can follow to actually do the same thing for your business and your life as well. Because again, business is literally just a reflection of your personal life, manifesting itself in your business. As above, so below, they said. So as you can see, guys, what I'm going to do in this video is actually break down the tools, software, all the recommendations I have, and kind of like the routines and disciplines that you need to follow. So let's just jump straight into this. If you see me looking over here, by the way, guys, it's because I am looking at my list. So this video is going to be important for those guys that are really trying to scale to that 10K per month mark and they just can't seem to get there. I found that like entrepreneurship is really about managing your downside more than it is managing your upside. And what I mean by that, guys, is like I said earlier just a second ago, your personal life actually reflects into your business. So if you think you got a business problem, it's not actually a business problem. It's just a problem that you've got in your personal life, if you will, and it's just kind of like reflecting in your your actual business. So what I mean by that, guys, is like if you, and this is funny because when I speak to people, I can actually see this from just like little things. For example, if you take a look at your desktop right now on your actual computer and you've got loads of things all over your desktop on your computer, that's an indication for me that your business is probably the exact same way. It's really weird, guys. It's like everything's interconnected, if you will. This is not woo-woo stuff. This is just literal. Just a mirror. Everything's a mirror. You can't get light without dark. You can't get fat without skinny. You can't get up without down. It's just all interconnected, guys. I need you guys to understand this. That like if your car, for example, is messy, your apartment's probably going to be messy. If your apartment's messy, your business is probably messy. It's the way how you do one thing, and this is what I mention all the time at agency transmutation. The way how you do one thing is the way how you do everything. So if you've got messy desktop, messy room, messy life, you're gonna have a messy business. It's just the way it goes, guys. In fact, there's a famous saying that like I can't remember where I heard this actual saying from. It's not really a saying, it's kind of like a story where there's a guy and there's like an entrepreneur in a business, just like a main corporate business, if you will, and he's taking interviews, he's looking for a new kind of employee. All these people come into the interviews, and what he does is basically he gets up out of the interview and he goes and looks at the back of their car that's parked in the car park. So he asks them, "Did you drive here to this interview today?" He says yes, and he says, "And where did you park?" He then gets up out of the interview, goes and looks at the back of their car. If the car's messy, he doesn't hire them. And the reason for that little story there, guys, is just to kind of give you the same thing I just said. The way how you do everything is the way how you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you've got a messy car, you've probably got a messy apartment. If you've got a messy apartment, you've got a messy life. And I literally can tell how messy people are and how like kind of broken down their businesses is just by looking at their actual desktop on their computer, or how many apps they have on their phone, or what their screen time's like on their phone. So here's a productivity tip for you right now. I want you to eliminate all distractions. This one, you're gonna be whining, you're gonna be crying because you're gonna have to give up Netflix, you're gonna have to give up gaming, you're gonna have to give up partying, you're gonna have to give up all the distractions in your life. Now, here's what I mean by that. I personally have this little vault right here. Now this vault right here, I'm not sure if it's gonna actually focus, but as you can see, whenever I spin this, if I spin it the right way, this basically, what you can do is you can take the lid off of this, just like take the lid off of this, you put stuff inside of there. For example, my mobile phone goes in here in the morning whenever I'm going into work blocks. I also then put in my batteries. I take the batteries out of my remote for my TV and I put them in here. By the way, there's a TV literally sat right there that's unopened, another TV. I'm scared to actually put that out because that's literally the second and third order consequences that comes with having a TV. For example, first of all, you have to buy it. That then, takes money out of your pocket already. It's not really a big thing at this point where I'm at in my business. But the second order consequence now is that to get the most out of the TV, you have to then watch the TV, which is a waste of time. Which basically means because I'm watching TV, I'm not building my business, which then in turn results to less sales calls, less outreach, less sales calls. So those are what you call second and third order consequences. It's not just about having a TV sat there or watching it. It's about the second order and third order consequences that people don't think about. Anywho, the second and third order consequences of having your phone around you is that it's almost like an alcoholic. This is a horrible, morbid kind of example, but like alcoholics keep alcohol in their house and say they're not going to do it, not going to drink. Everybody knows they're gonna drink that eventually. It's almost like I'm not too sure how real this is. I don't really think this is kind of necessary, but like people say that like you shouldn't keep a gun in the house because the gun's going to get used eventually. That's a horrible saying. I shouldn't probably even say that on YouTube, but you know what I'm talking about, guys. Like, don't keep alcohol around in your house if you're an alcohol addict, basically. Don't keep your phone around you if you're a phone addict, if you will. And all of us are phone addicts. It doesn't matter who you think you are, we're all phone addicts. My screen time is only like 1 to 2 hours a day, normally like 2 hours a day. I'm in a bit of a monk mode right now. So my phone kind of like time is 2 hours a day. And even that's a lot. even if you actually multiply that by a week and you multiply that by a year, you will see I'm spending way too much time on my phone. In fact, I already have this little saying that like in the future I can see myself on my deathbed, and one of the regrets I'm gonna have, and I'm only 25 and I'm already saying this right now, so I'm actually looking way ahead in the future. You know, hopefully I live to a very, very long age and whatnot, but I can see me on my deathbed saying, you know what I damn regret? I regret being on my phone for so friggin' long. I should have been using that time to build my business instead, or build this thing or build that thing, or spend time with my family, that sort of stuff. So guys, look, put your phone, go and grab one of these. I got this from Amazon. It's called a kitchen safe. This is actually, it was quite, I wouldn't say it's pricey. Some of you might think it's pricey, but a lot of people, if you think it's pricey, it's because you have the wrong mindset. This I actually paid £70 for. I think it was like £79 or £69, something like that. But basically it was like £70, £80. It was like $100. Just call it $100 or whatever it was. Now you're probably wondering, why on earth would I buy a safe for $100? And here's why you would do it, and here's why it's actually a good investment. If you can just stay off your phone for an extra hour a day, not only is that going to give you your time back, which obviously is immeasurable within itself, but within that 1 hour a day, even if it's just giving you an extra hour a day back, you're going to be able to do way more outreach in that 1 hour, and you're going to land more clients for your social media marketing agency. So this right here is 110% worth the investment. And again, what I recommend you do is, me personally, how I use this is when I wake up, I go for my morning routine at 8:45 a.m. I start my work blocks. I then go until around 12:15 p.m. So from 8:45 to 12:15 is like my IPAs. That work block is actually 2 work blocks I split into 1 hour and 30 minutes each, and then I go on for a little 30-minute break in between. But that right there is a block of time where I put my phone in here and I block it all the way from 8:45 a.m. to 12:15. My phone and my batteries for my actual TV remote goes in here, which means I cannot control my TV. I can't turn it on. I can't click on Netflix. I can't select anything on the TV. So I guess I can turn it on, because if I've got like a Alexa and whatnot, it's kind of connected. It's a smart TV, but I can't actually say open Netflix and play this thing. It just doesn't work. I've tried it. It doesn't work. There's no way around it. There's literally no way around it. And this is what I call fail safes. These are what you call fail safes, if you will. Well, the actual product itself is called a kitchen safe, but I call them a fail safe mechanism, if you will. This is one of those things where you know you're gonna. This is the thing. People lie to themselves as well. You will literally lie to yourself. You will say, no, I'm not gonna do it. I won't go on my phone. I won't check it. But you actually will though. You actually will. We're all addicts. If your phone's in the drawer, like this drawer, like next to you, when you're working, that right there is a big mistake. You don't want to do that. You're just going to disappoint yourself by actually just going and jumping on your phone. So you don't want to do that. Now, in terms of your phone, you want to make sure that you're tracking your screen time and have an actual sheet as well. So here's another productivity hack for you. I like to use Strides. If you're not familiar with Strides is like a tracking app. You can actually get it on your iOS. So for example, your iPhone, I believe they've got an Android app as well. I have it on my iPad basically. And what I do is I track my wake up time, I track my start time, I track how many hours I work, and I also track my outreach in there, and I also track my screen time on there. So what I do is I make sure that everything's tracked. Now, as they say, what gets tracked gets managed, or what gets managed gets tracked, or whatever it is. Yeah, I think it's what gets tracked gets managed basically. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're managing that right there. Now, another thing you guys can do is I want you to delete all the apps off of your phone that are distracting. Like just delete them off there, especially if you got a mobile phone that's like for business and whatnot. Delete Instagram. You don't need Instagram unless you've got a personal brand, or like you're actually following someone that actually genuinely gives you tips and stuff like that. I won't even say me, because I do actually drop a lot of tips on there as well on my Instagram, but like that would have been too much of a plug to say, hey, follow me. I thought I dropped it. That's way too much of a plug. But if you do want to follow me on Instagram. Anyway, enough of the plugs. Long story short, but if you're serious about getting to 10K, you have to sacrifice. You have to give something up. For me, it was alcohol, it was, no fap and stuff like that, it was going out partying, it was removing distracting apps, and it was getting up early and actually just being consistent. Those are the things that actually I had to give up. In order to get something, you have to give something up. Again, you cannot have up without down. You cannot have success without failure. This is what I'm trying to say. You can't say that you're gonna get something and not be willing to give something. It doesn't work like that. It cannot physically do that. It's almost like defeating darkness with darkness by adding more darkness. It just doesn't work like that, guys. It's physically impossible. In order to get something, you have to give something. This is what I'm trying to say. To get up, you must have down. To get poor, you have to have rich. To get rich, you have to have poor. It's really weird how the universe works, but it makes sense basically. As above, so below, as they say. So Another app you can actually get on your computer as well. Again, delete all apps on your computer that are distracting, on your phone as well that are especially on your computer, your work computer. If you've got apps on your phone that's distracting, I guess you can keep them if you get a safe. If you get one of these safes and you actually pull through and actually pull the trigger and actually get one. If not, your computer definitely needs all the games deleted off it. It needs all the distracting stuff deleted off of it. Now, here's what I recommend you get if you're a Mac user. I'm not sure if this is available for Windows, but I've got an app on my computer called Self-Control. Self-Control, as in like self-control. So Self-Control is an app that basically allows you to set, and there's multiple of these apps, but Self-Control is a free one for Mac, so that's why I use it. So Self-Control completely free. You can download it right now. Like, you literally pause this video, open a new tab, type in Self-Control, and go and get it and download it onto your computer. Look for a Windows alternative. If you have Windows, type in Self-Control Mac app Windows alternative. Go and do that right now. I'm telling you, this will actually be one of the best things you ever do. So what you can do with Self-Control is you can take all of your most distracting websites, such as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, any sort of distracting websites that you go on, TikTok, for example. And what you can do is you can make a list of all these distracting websites, right? And you can tell this app to block the websites for a certain amount of, predetermined time that you set for that amount of time, basically. So you can, take 10 different websites that are very distracting for you. And this is the thing, you have to do this. You have to do this. If you're really serious about getting to that 10K per month, you have to do this. You need to eliminate distractions and go into deep work. By the way, go and get the book Deep Work and Atomic Habits. They talk about and The Shallows, by the way. Read those books, you'll become a beast, I'm telling you. So get this app called Self-Control. Self-Control, again, allows you to set certain apps, set certain websites that you can actually block, and then it allows you to then block those websites for a certain amount of time that you set. Then, guys, listen to this. The app does not allow you to go on those websites. It just physically won't load for the amount of time. It literally, even if you reset the computer, even if you delete the app, you cannot actually get on those websites and access those websites. So it eliminates your distraction straight away. And the key to this, like I said, is managing your downside. It's more about managing your downside than it is your upside. And you want to manage your downside before your downside even comes around and you start spiraling. You see, what I've noticed in entrepreneurship is that there's normally a trigger that then hits you into a spiral. For example, one of my spirals is this, or one of my triggers is this. It will be Friday night at around 5 p.m. and my friends are getting aggy, as they say over here in the UK. They're getting agitated, they want to go out and that sort of stuff. So I know at Friday at 5 p.m. to turn my phone off and put it in my safe for until like 1 a.m., for example, or like the next day. That eliminates me from actually opening up messages and seeing them talking about they're going for a little link up, if you will, to go and chill, or they're going to go meet up and go out clubbing or something like that. So that's what you call a trigger that then leads to a spiral. Here's the trigger. The trigger was, I looked at the phone, I had a message from my friends from the group chat, they want to go out partying. That then creates FOMO in me. So as you can see, it was one little thing that sparked this off. It was just a message. It was me picking up my phone and I saw the message. I then read the message that they're going out. That triggered FOMO. So that's the third kind of point there. That FOMO then kicks in and I now want to go out. I then end up, lying to myself saying, oh yeah, business is not that important. I'll be able to do this. I'm already at 10K. I can chill, blah, 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 blah. All these lies, by the way, is what I like to call your lower self. Your lower self starts acting up. As you can see, it all stems from that one thing. I just checked my phone at 5 p.m. on a Friday night and it spiraled me from there. Then the spiral ends up me going out, spending lots of money on alcohol, buying bottle services, thinking I'm cool and whatnot, spending my money, wasting it, and then I wake up the next day hungover, regretting it and saying that I'm going to do monk mode and quitting alcohol, and then I go and do the same thing again the next night. So as you can see, guys, that is a spiral right there and you want to eliminate it. And again, you want to eliminate them or nip them in the butt before they actually pop up. So for me, I know that when I'm sitting down to do my Upwork outreach, to do my cold emails and that, send them actually out, because obviously I've got First Line Writer, which I teach you how to do in agency transportation. But you see, I eliminate these distractions first, as in, I know when I sit down to do my work, I'm going to want to go onto Instagram. So I sometimes like to cheat and open up a new tab and go to Instagram. That's not possible anymore with the new app Self-Control. It's not possible because my phone's also in my actual vault, and it's not possible to go on my iPad because I don't even have any apps installed on that except for Strides and Strides and Amazon Kindle for reading books and stuff like that. So there's a tip for you right there, and you must do this. It's about eliminating distractions and watching out for your downsides. Another really good productivity tip for you guys is that you want to not do outreach sporadically. I've seen this so many times, and I keep mentioning this, guys. you need to what I call ritualize your outreach. Ritualizing your outreach basically means that you're going to set a number. First of all, you figure out how many clients you want, how many like what the time frame is, and what sort of like profit margins you want. And again, there's a tracking sheet. If you guys want a free tracking sheet, by the way, go to the link below. It's a completely free tracking sheet. All you have to do is go to the link below, watch my agency transmutation video all the way through, and it explains to you how to go about getting this tracking sheet. The tracking sheet basically breaks down how many clients you need to get to your desired goal. Well, first of all, it helps you set a desired goal. It then shows you how many clients you need, how much you need to charge, and how much actual outreach you need to do on a day-to-day basis, and even how many minutes per day that's going to take you. So it's really, really in-depth stuff, because when you can actually take a goal and then reverse engineer it and break down it into like a actual how much outreach you need to do on a day-to-day basis, and then you can break it down into how much outreach you need to do on a day-to-day basis and how many minutes that's going to take you, then you're really starting to get clear on your goals and how to actually achieve them. So that tracking sheet is free. All you have to do is go to agencytransmutation.com, the link's below, watch the video, and it explains how to go about getting that tracking sheet for completely free. You don't need to put your email address in there or anything like that to watch the video or anything like that. So guys, another tip that I'm going to give you for productivity, like I said, was to ritualize your outreach. Again, use a tracking sheet, come up with how many clients you need, what your goal is, and how much outreach you need to do. Then once you've got that daily outreach figure, what you do is you block off the time in your calendar first thing in the morning, as in you wake up, you do your morning routine, and you know, this is even before your job. If you've got a job that you have to go to, I don't know, 7 a.m., wake up an hour earlier and do your outreach. Or if you can't do that, do it after work. It's probably going to be very difficult to do it after work, by the way. And if you can't do it after work, you're going to probably have to hire this out, you know, and actually get someone to do your outreach for you, which again is taught in agency transmutation. But the key to this is to set the same time aside, be in the same place, doing the same task each and every day. You want routine. It needs to be ritualized. Let me give you an example. When I was going from around 3.1k British pounds to 10k per month with my agency, that's in US dollars, by the way. It was actually, I think it was actually like 8.6k. I jumped from 3.1k to 8.6k in a single 24-day period, like literally when I set the actual challenge. What I was doing is I set myself a 90-day challenge, like I said, and I said to myself, I'm just going to do 15 Upwork outreach a day and then 50 emails a day. Obviously the 50 emails were done automatically for me. But what I was doing is I was waking up at the same time every day, getting to my computer at the same time every day. And if I was late, even by 5 minutes, I was doing something like press ups, or I was taking something away from me, such as like, I'm not allowed to watch anime at the end of the day or something like that. Or what, basically I had to add in that there was some sort of consequence. And this is what you need to do. Give yourself consequences as well. Don't beat yourself up, but give yourself a consequence to make sure that you're obviously taking this seriously. And then get to your computer and actually just stick to what you're doing. You just open your computer and go straight to that thing. And what I used to say to myself is, don't think, just do. Because everybody does this. If I was to tell you to go do 10 press-ups right now, the average person would get on the floor and be like, oh, which way should I put my arms? Should I put them wider to work out like my chest or something like that? Put them like a diamond shape to work out my chest, or wider to work out my back, or should I put them in the middle? Like you're doing too much. Just do press-ups, get on the floor, do press-ups. You guys I'm telling you guys to do outreach, but you guys are like, oh yeah, I need to figure out the perfect scripts. I haven't got a media buy. I don't know how to do my tax. I need a website, this and that. Just go and do outreach. You guys are just making up stuff now at this point. Just don't do that. It's like me asking you to do some press-ups and you're talking about, where should I put my fingers? How wide should I put my arms? I just go down and just actually do the press-ups. That's what I'm trying to say. So don't think, just do. Ritualize it and make sure that you stick to it every single day. Stick to your number. Say you're going to do 20 emails a day. Then you stick to 20 emails a day every single day at the same time. And this is where I see people mess up. They wake up one day where it's like they're early and they want to do work. So they actually wake up and they're feeling motivated and then they do work. Then the next day they're not as motivated. They wake up later and then they do outreach at a different time. You see, when you do stuff like that, that's what you call sporadic outreach. I don't recommend that at all. I see a lot of people trying to do this. What you need to do is ritualize it at the same time every day and have your calendar actually blocked out for that time and have zero distractions in that time. I also use a app called Guestimator. It's like a little Mac app that basically you can go and download. I believe it's free. I'm not too sure. I think it's like £1.99 or something like that, like $2, something like that. Go and grab that. It's like a little icon at the top of your menu bar. And what you do is you click on it and you drag it down, and you let go, and basically you can set the amount of time you want to work for, and that's just a good little timer to show you how long you're going to be working for. It's a really cool productivity tip, app, should I say, because like you could just see how long you need to work for, and it reminds you to go on breaks and stuff like that. And last but not least, guys, make sure you're waking up early and stuff like that. I really just think that that's one of those things. If you go and look at like the most successful people in the world, you'll see that they're early risers. And this is the thing with me. I look at what the population is doing, like the majority of people, and do the opposite. Because this is going to sound rude. I'm not trying to be rude, but if you take a look at what the like the majority of the population have, and what they do and how they live their lives, you will see that they don't have much. Like there's only like, and that's what I mean. Like if you want to be the top 1%, you have to do everything different to what everybody else does. As in, if they go left, if the majority of the population goes left, you go right. If they go right, you go left. If they wake up late, you wake up early. If they start a job, you create jobs. You know what I'm trying to say? If they consume a lot of content, you create a lot of content. As you can see, you just do the opposite. Because the opposite of poor is rich. This is very like mindset stuff for you. Again, there is no up without down. You can't get rich without poor. So if these people are, I don't know, very corporate-y, you're not corporate-y. It's just stuff like that, guys. You have to do the opposite of what is what I'm trying to say. Anywho, make sure you plan out your days the night before. This is never go to bed. Never ever go to bed without planning the day ahead. This is one of those things where it's like you need to get all that sort of like get everything off your head. So it's gonna help you sleep well and actually get a good night's sleep. So like once it's actually written down on some paper, you know what you're doing the next day. You don't have to worry about it. You've already got your clothes packed out the next day. You've already your morning breakfast stuff already packed out the next day. If you're going to the gym, you already know your routines for the day before. From the day before, you already have your gym clothes out for the day before. Those sorts of stuff. That's basically what I do as well. And you've also got what you need to do for that particular day already planned out. So once you wake up, it's just straight ninja mode, if you will, just straight to your computer, robot mode, and you're just straight in there doing your actual IPAs. And again, nothing comes before your IPAs. Don't make stuff up to do productive procrastination, which is like, oh, I need to build a website to get clients. No, you don't. You need to do outreach to get clients. Oh, I need to know about tax to get clients. No, you don't. You need to get clients. You need to do outreach to get clients. Oh, I need a fancy business card to get clients. No, you don't. You need to do outreach to get clients. Don't mix stuff up. Don't make stuff up to try and justify you from not doing outreach because you're scared of talking to people on the phone. That's most of the time what I've actually found with SMA. So guys, those are just a couple of productivity tips. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that this helps you get to that 10K per month mark. Because again, it's more about what you don't do than it is what you do. It kind of sounds weird. Again, like I said, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, and your business is just a reflection of your personal life, just kind of like reflecting itself into your business. If you've got a bad personal life or messy personal life, it'll be messy in your business as well. So again, guys, hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to drop a like, comment, subscribe. That's all I ask for in return, and I'll see you guys in the next video pretty soon. Peace.